everyone! Welcome and well met, my fellow adventurers. Thank you for joining me today for another predictions video. Well, everyone, this is it. We finally made it. Early access for Dawntrail will be coming out at the end of this month, and we will finally be able to continue on with a brand new story. So, what can we expect? Well, the fact is, I don't have a clue. I mean, normally in previous expansions, we have at least an idea of what might be waiting for us. We have like a much clearer objective to how to get to the end, but right now, we really don't have much of anything to go by, at least story-wise. We know that we're going to be heading off to the new world. We have a glimpse of some of the new areas, though some of them may be a little bit more out there. And we are going to be helping out one of the 4 members of the royal family, most likely Valigarmanda, and help her to claim the throne. Personally, though, I don't think we're going to be experiencing any kind of end of the world apocalypse kind of stuff right away, at least not for this expansion. I mean, we already left behind an epic adventure of saving pretty much the whole universe not that long ago, so I think that now is a good chance for us to be able to relax somewhat. So at this point, I think that the entire story for Dawntrail and beyond is going to be pretty much up in the air for at least a little while. We don't have a known threat hanging over our heads, no monsters that are stalking us, no secret villain watching from the shadows. I mean, Valigarmanda did mention that one of the candidates is a possible danger and can't be allowed to take the throne, but apart from that, there are no wars to be fought, no end-of-the-world calamity coming our way, at least not that we know of yet. But I think that with everything we went through, from a realm reborn to Endwalker, just taking a step back and being allowed to breathe for even just a little while is just what we need. Not to say that I won't be expecting some kind of chaos in this new story to come calling sooner or later, but I feel that us getting back to our roots as an adventurer and being able to explore new lands for the thrill of it and facing off against new creatures and enemies is just what we need right now. But that leads us to the question that we will be discussing about today in a confirmed fight that will be waiting for us: Valigarmanda. So let's talk about this creature. According to the official website, this legendary beast, held to be the mightiest in all of Tural, is possessed of a serpentine body and the wings of a bird. Each time it has embarked upon a rampage, it has inflicted terrible scars upon the land, for which it has come to be dreaded as the Skyruin. Now, that all sounds cool on paper, but what are we dealing with here? Just what is Valigarmanda? It doesn't seem to be a primal, because it looks like it has been around for a pretty long time. And according to Valigarmanda, it was suggested that the competition for the throne has something to do with Valigarmanda, suggesting that this creature didn't just pop into existence for no reason recently, as far as we know of so far. Recently, I've heard a few theories that Valigarmanda was an allspice, and while that theory is probably the most likely one, I don't feel that's the case. I mean, I don't know. I feel that it's just a little too obvious. But then, if it's not an allspice, then what could Valigarmanda be? And more importantly, what is his role in Dawntrail meant to be? So let's just have a quick look at Valigarmanda's history, because a lot like with other foes that we fought in the past, they have made appearances in the series before now. Valigarmanda has been seen as both a summon and an enemy in the Final Fantasy series, having first appeared officially in Final Fantasy VI, though he did go by another name. It was still Valigarmanda. And in that game, he was sealed up in some kind of ice-like aura site at the top of a mountain overlooking the city of Narsh. It's interesting to note that in that game, he was seen as both an enemy that we had to fight, but also later became an ally after proving our pure intentions. In the game, when we end up visiting him, he ended up breaking off the mind control that the Empire had over Terra before helping to set up the chain of events that ultimately helped the party to save the world. So, looking to that for inspiration, is it possible he could have a similar role here in 14? While reading up on what little information that we know of in the New World, it did state that in Turali folklore, it is considered to be the mightiest of beasts and the very embodiment of nature's power. Embodiment of nature's power. I mean, that does sound a bit like a primal, especially since if we look at the point where some primals are the living embodiment of an element. But to be honest, I don't know if they are going to have us doing such trial fights against primals anymore. Final Fantasy XIV has gone a very different way with the primals lately, which does make a lot of sense because there's not really such a need for the Warrior of Light to personally head out and kill the primals anymore, since not only do they have a way of curing the tempered, but they also have a way to prevent tempering to begin with. So that at least has been taken care of. Besides, can we really still see them as challenges anymore, since we already fought the two most powerful and ancient of primals in the forms of Zodiark and Hydaelyn, so yeah, they're really going to have to try to step it up and find a new way of incorporating primals if they still want to add them. Before Endwalker came out, there was all this talk about Anima and the Mega Sisters becoming the next trial fights along with Zodiark. As we all know now, that didn't happen. And apart from Zodiark and Hydaelyn, and I guess if you want to count the Ashura fight that we got from the Hildebrand quests, Anima and the Mega Sisters were just dungeon bosses, though I did enjoy them. So it is possible if Valigarmanda is really a primal, then it makes more sense that he would also become a kind of bait-and-switch dungeon boss. But I can't really believe that Valigarmanda is going to be a primal. An Allspice? Sure, I guess I could see that. And it would be kind of interesting to see it if he was kind of in a disguise form, maybe just walking around Turali and no one had a clue who he really was. It's kind of going to be like Dirk from Myths of a Realm. So I kind of like that idea, but since they already did that with Dirk, I don't really believe that they're going to be pulling something like that again anytime soon. But could you imagine what that would be like? Like maybe Valigarmanda just happens to be the mystery woman in white from the poster, or maybe even the little squirrel from the trailer. It's fun to think about anyway. I mean, I guess since some parts of the New World are going to be dealing with frozen mountaintops, it could be something similar to Final Fantasy VI, where we did have to climb a mountain and find him pretty much imprisoned inside this ice, so maybe we have to free him in order for us to get his help to find the City of Gold. I don't know, it could be anything here. Appearance-wise, Narshe reminds me a little bit of Shyloni, where Valigarmanda was overlooking from the waterfall that separates the two parts of the continent. And if it's true that the City of Gold is in Shyloni, or even just behind the waterfall, could Valigarmanda be the guardian of the City of Gold? I guess that really all depends on the exact nature of this upcoming contest. I mean, it would line everything up. Wook Lamont said that this challenge would be involving the City of Gold and Valigarmanda. And depending on where the City of Gold is, which I'm betting is going to be hidden inside the waterfall personally, and Valigarmanda is the protector of such a place, then of course we would have to contest with him if we want to continue on with our search. I can totally see him as some kind of guardian deity, maybe like the Great Serpent of Ronka from the first. It could be his duty to look after the people in his domain, maybe even be the judge to see if one of the new candidates is worthy to become the next ruler. If that's the case, then it does make sense how Gulu Jaja was able to unite the people under him when he became the Dawn Servant in the first place. Because he does seem to have been a great warrior in his younger years, and he may have battled against Valigarmanda before and earned the creature's respect. And by doing that, he ended up earning the people's respect, and that's how they all united underneath him. While haven't not met the Dawn Servant yet, he certainly seems to know a bit about what's going on, including about the City of Gold, so this could be an important clue for later. But what I really do want to see is that Valigarmanda is something different, something new. I mean, we are in a new place in the world, we have new cultures, new mythology. This is the perfect setting for something new, like how we got the Sin Eaters for the first. My best bet is that he's some kind of entity similar to maybe Espers or Faith, perhaps as I guess the best way to put it is a guardian spirit, possibly a creature that was made before the world was sundered. I mean, Valigarmanda could have been a creation from way back then and for some reason was able to escape the sundering and just continue to grow and evolve over the eons into the being we will encounter. I mean, there is also clues that Valigarmanda is a dragon. He could have been part of maybe the second brood, like an offspring of one of the first brood, which, okay, I guess that could happen, but he certainly looks very different than the dragons that we've seen up till now. And I do know that dragons do tend to evolve just depending on their environments and everything, just depending on the situation. It could be possible that he is just a different type of dragon. Maybe he's an Aetheris dragon. Because Midgardsormr and the First Brood do originally hail from the Dragon Star. So maybe this is just a dragon here on Aetheris for some reason. I don't know. I find it very unlikely that he is a dragon at all, despite his dragon-like qualities. And there are also rumors that Valigarmanda has connections to Solution 9, which, if I have to be honest, I can't really see a connection. If Valigarmanda is the embodiment of nature, why would it have some kind of connection with a city that seems as advanced as Solution 9? I mean, unless he's being held and used as a kind of living battery to power that city, I really don't see it. Though the classic nature versus technology could be an interesting take for this story. Personally, I don't think Solution 9 originally comes from Aetheris. My reason for that is that I can't help but continue to think of what Embarked said before about how some of the other settlements in the other shards would surprise us. Perhaps those from Solution 9 were actually part of another shard, one that was highly advanced, and they were able to escape a rejoining, and maybe after escaping and coming here, they hid themselves away and toiled away in secret to build their advanced city. Maybe this is the City of Gold, maybe not an actual gold, but like a wealth of knowledge of technology. Maybe Valigarmanda happens to have come from the same world that Solution 9 came from. I don't know, this doesn't really seem like Allagan technology to me, but we're going off topic. Unless Valigarmanda is some kind of bio creature that was created by Solution 9 or came here with them from another shard, I don't believe Valigarmanda has any kind of connection to this area. I find it a lot more likely that he is some kind of guardian deity. Not like an actual god, but more like a spiritual guardian of a specific area, specifically the City of Gold, and his job is to just protect and watch over the city, and just attack anyone who might bring any kind of threat to this place. If that's the case, then I do predict that we will be seeing other similar guardian spirits in this expansion, which would be really interesting to see. Plus, it would also give us something new, because if they really are guardian spirits, then we can't really go around killing them without pissing a lot of people off. So yeah, I do think that the best option here is that Valigarmanda is some kind of maybe spiritual guardian over the City of Gold, and we have to contend with him maybe by earning his respect. Will he acknowledge us as maybe proper candidates for the throne? At least that's my take on it. So what do you all think? That there is my theory about what Valigarmanda and the possible role he's going to be playing for Dawntrail. If you like this theory and would like to see other predictions before Dawntrail comes out, please let me know. But until next time everyone, please take care, and I hope to see you all again soon. See ya!